وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي أما بعد. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, all praise be to Allah. We praise Him, we ask for His help, we ask for His forgiveness, we seek refuge with Allah from the wickedness of ourselves and from the badness of our deeds. Whoever been given by Allah guidance, then nobody could be guided, misguided for him. And whoever be misguided by Allah, then nobody can be a guide for him. I bear witness there's no God worthy to worship except Allah, only Him, no associate for Him. And I bear witness that Muhammad, His messenger, His servant. O Allah, give good prayers upon Muhammad and the family of Muhammad. Give good prayers upon Abraham and the family of Abraham. O Allah, bless upon Muhammad and the family of Muhammad. Bless upon Abraham and the family of Abraham. Very you most worthy of praises and most exalted in glory. Today, inshallah, we substituting our Sheikh for he actually traveling right now for our class of Don't Be Sad. So, the last topic that he talked about is actually do not be sad and Allah, always remember Allah, or more than that actually. Okay, today inshallah we continue to the topic of do not be sad, never lose hope of Allah mercy. This is actually the way, because it's after the topic of the art of happiness, how to be happy. So among the thing that being discussed here is actually how to be happy. The author is actually giving us the topic about don't be sad. Is start from the 3 or 4 after anxiety. Okay, don't be sad. After the first one is actually don't be sad, everything will occur according to the preordinance. Means that whatever Allah Ta'ala have predestined for us, it will be like that. So even like you said inside the Quran, Allah Ta'ala said in Surah Al-Hadid verse number 22, 23, Allah Ta'ala said, Ma asab min musibatin fil ardi wala fi anfusikum. Never will occur any disaster, any calamity on the face of the earth. Wala fi anfusikum, also not on yourself. Illa fi kitab, except that is written in the book, the book beside Allah, in the side of Allah, written there. Min qabl an nabraha, before we make it happen. Inna dhalika Allah yasir. For making something being written before it happened, for Allah is actually really easy. And why? Allah said, "Dikai la ta'saw ala ma fatakum," so that you will not be feel despair for whatever passed by you. Anything that you lose, you don't feel despair. Wala tafrahu bima atakum, and also you not be enjoying yourself to more than is supposed to when you get something, because also it is preordained by Allah, predestined by Allah. Okay, that's the one thing. And it also say here, don't be sad, wait patiently for a happy outcome. It means that Allah Ta'ala always make after disaster or anything happen to you, Allah Ta'ala said, inna ma'al usri yusra. Verily with every difficulty there is easiness. After the dark, you will come light. That is the way Allah Ta'ala have already created this world. So wait for the happy thing to come after disaster. Then don't be sad. Seek forgiveness from Allah often, for your Lord is of forgiving. Means that because Allah Ta'ala is actually giving us the promise that He will give us provision, and also even the rain will come if you ask from Allah forgiveness. Forgiveness is actually something that actually we forgot to ask from Allah, even though we know that the Prophet SAW our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he gave us the hint about the importance of asking forgiveness when Aisha radhiallahu anha asked him if she managed to get the night of Qadar, the night of Qadar, what should she say? Then the Prophet said to her, teaching her what to say by saying that, Quli, say, Allahumma innaka afu tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anni. Oh Allah, you are most forgiving, you love to forgive. Fa'fu anni, then forgive me. So that is one. And don't be sad, always remember Allah. Always remember Allah. Because when you remember Allah, Allah Ta'ala said in the Quran, ala bidhikrillahi tatma'innul qulub. Is it not by remembering Allah, by mentioning Allah, remembering Allah, your heart will become calm? That is one of the things that actually, alhamdulillah, we pass by. The last one that we'll discuss today is, don't be sad, never lose hope of Allah's mercy. Don't be sad, never lose hope of Allah's mercy. Allah Ta'ala said in the Quran, in Surah Yusuf, verse number 87. That is actually from the 87. There is from the saying of, in Surah Yusuf, verse number 87, from the saying of Jacob, to his children. He said, Fala tayasu min rawahillah. La tayasu min rawahillah. Don't you all feel despair from the blessed mercy of Allah. Innahu, then that is the ayah, innahu la ya'asu min rawahillah illa al-qaumul kafirun. That is actually never will feel despair from the mercy of Allah except those who disbelieve. That is from the saying of Yaqub alayhi salam, Jacob teaching his children to know about the mercy of Allah. And also in the same surah, Surah Yusuf, verse number 110. Allah Ta'ala said, verse number 110, Allah Ta'ala said, فَلَمَّا اسْتَيْأَسَ الرُّسُلُ وَظَنُّوا أَنَّهُمْ قَدْ كُذِّبُوا جَاءَهُمْ نَصْرُنَا فَنُجِّيَ مَنْ نَشَاءُ. He said, and they were reprieved. They were reprieved. Means that feeling despair. And when you say here, when the messengers gave up hope and thought that they were denied, they already been denied by their people, then come to them our help. Ja'ahum nasruna. Surah Yusuf, verse number 110. Verse number 110. So actually relating to the thing that even the prophet and messenger of Allah will test by Allah until to the extent the feeling that they are not helped by Allah, but Allah Ta'ala help them after that. But that is not, you say, a normal occasion for them. They always believe in Allah, but sometimes the extent of the test from Allah making them feeling that they are not being given help, but Allah Ta'ala give that extend to them as a test, and for the people who are the believers with them to know the feeling of clinging to Allah for wholeheartedly. Because sometimes when you get easy for everything, you don't really have the wholehearted clinging to Allah. You have to cling to Allah with wholeheartedly. But like I said, the test from Allah sometimes can make you get the taste or the feeling that you are really depending on Allah. It's actually like being said by one of my friend. May Allah Ta'ala have mercy upon him. Actually, when he was traveling, coming back to Malaysia, and with him, one of a young student actually being stopped by the airport security. The airport security really stopped him, and actually they want to make decision to send him back to the country that he traveled from. So this my friend, uh, may Allah Ta'ala have mercy upon him. He died last year or the early of this year. So he actually uh, at that time, because the family of this boy trusting the boy to him to get him back to Malaysia. So he actually feeling so, what you say, so really feel doesn't have any solution, because the authority there is actually really want to send this boy back. So he said he went to the musalla at the airport and start to pray to Allah and ask Allah for help for about this boy, because he left this boy, he will be traveling, but the boy will be sent back to the country that he came from. So he asked Allah, really asking Allah, and suddenly the airport official said, "Okay, we let you go." So at that time, uh, when they asked him how did he pray, he said wholeheartedly, because he really afraid, because the boy that he will left there is actually around 14 years old, traveling with him, 14 years old. So he don't think that the boy can manage by himself. So he want to take the boy back to Malaysia. So he asked from Allah, pray to Allah wholeheartedly. The thing about you're clinging to Allah, you're feeling that Allah Ta'ala will answer you, will only happen when you get the test. The test is so big, then you don't have any more anybody else to call upon, to ask favor upon, then you will cling only to Allah. That is the way Allah Ta'ala making you feel the taste of depending on Allah wholeheartedly. That is actually not always, but sometimes Allah Ta'ala will make you feel that. So that is actually from the Surah Al-Yusuf, verse number 110. Uh, and also in Surah Al-21, verse 88. Is Surah Anbiya, verse number 88. Allah Ta'ala said in that ayah, فَاسْتَجَبْنَا لَهُ وَنَجَّيْنَاهُ مِنَ الْغَمِّ. This is actually about the Prophet Jonah, when he was being gobbled by, swallowed by the fish, the big fish. Then he start to pray to Allah by saying, La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minadh dhalimin. There's no God except you, and glory be to you that I am really was from among people who do sin. So he actually saying that, and the Prophet SAW, our Prophet Muhammad SAW, did say that whoever in distress, feeling helpless, and say this dua, La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minadh dhalimin, then Allah Ta'ala will surely help him. So Jonah, when he was being swallowed by the fish, big fish, then he continuously to say that prayer. Then Allah Ta'ala said, Fastajabna lahu. Then we delivered him from the distress. وَنَجَّيْنَاهُ مِنَ الْغَمِّ. And we save him from the distress. وَكَذَلِكَ نُنْجِي الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. And as that is the way we help the believers. Whoever believe in Allah, then Allah will help them. And also in Surah see here 33, Surah Al-Ahzab. Surah Al-Ahzab, in ayat number 11 and 10 and 11. 10 and 11, Allah Ta'ala said, this is actually related to the War of Ahzab. War of Ahzab, when the coalition army of the non-believers came from Mecca and all the Arab land, the Arabian Peninsula, to strike upon Medina. So the Prophet ﷺ was waiting there, and if they pass the channel that they dug, they surely will enter Medina. And Allah Ta'ala said what happened at that time, because the situation is so intense. So Allah Ta'ala said what happened to the believers at that time. Verse number 10, Allah Ta'ala said, إِذْ جَاءُوكُمْ مِنْ فَوْقِكُمْ, when they came to you from the above you, وَمِنْ أَسْفَلَ مِنْكُمْ, and from below you. This actually, when we talk about this, it's actually like a map. You know, a map of the earth. When you look at the earth, you don't know the axis. You just see the sun coming down and came up from the east and came down and go down to the west. But you don't really sure which part is the top and the bottom. So when the Prophet ﷺ was in Medina, you know, the situation, the Medina is situated on the northern part of the Arabian Peninsula. So when the army of these non-believers from Mecca, the coalition army, they came from top, that the Prophet ﷺ did dug with his companion the channel to stop the army from advance. And at the same time, the Jew is actually on the southern part of Medina, because Medina is actually being surrounded with two volcanic area. So the Prophet did only one side and the other side. So Allah said, "Iz ja'ukum min fawqikum," when they came to you from above you, from above. When aswalinkum, and from the other side, the bottom, the below you, from below you. Wa izzaghatil absar, and when your eyes actually shifted in fear, you know, when you're feeling fear, your eyes will go towards the top part of your eyes. Wabaratil qulubil hanajira, and the heart reaches the throat. Means not because the depression or the thing is so dire, as if your heart is coming out to pressing on your throat. وَيَظُنُّونَ بِاللَّهِ الظُّنُونَ, and they were harboring doubts about Allah. You assume about Allah assumptions. You think that Allah Ta'ala will do it for you, or will make for you. Then Allah Ta'ala said, هُنَالِكَ أُبْتُلِيَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ وَزُلْزِلُوا زِلْزَالًا شَدِيدًا. There, the believers were tested, and they were shaken with a severe shaking. Means that being tested by Allah with that test, until they say that when will the help from Allah will come to them. So that I said, Allah Ta'ala is making you to feel that feeling. If everything become easy for you, you will not have the taste about depending fully or wholeheartedly to Allah. Because of that, you will not really asking from Him, and you will be despair. But when you got the feeling that Allah Ta'ala is actually helping you, and by looking at the way Allah Ta'ala helped people before you, that's why Allah Ta'ala told us to look into the Quran and learn from the Quran about whatever happened to people before us, so that we will take a lesson from them. What happened to them can happen to us. Allah Ta'ala help them, Allah Ta'ala can help us. Because of that, we will not feel despair. Because feeling despair from the mercy of Allah, from the help of Allah, provision for Allah, is actually for the non-believers only. Those who believe Allah, they will not be sad, because they know that Allah Ta'ala will always help them in the end. Allah will not forsaken them. Do not grieve He said here, do not grieve over the hurt that is inflicted upon you by others, and forgive those who have ill-treated you. This is actually something that I said, you cannot run away from the test. It's actually one of the art of become to happiness, that you must know that whatever you seeing or experiencing in your life is really something that you cannot run away. Like the first one you said, all predestined by Allah. Even Allah Ta'ala said, وَجَعَلْنَا بَعْضَكُمْ لِبَعْضٍ فِتْنَةً أَتَصْبِرُونَ. We make some of you for the other as a test. And Allah Ta'ala said, أَتَصْبِرُونَ. That you, Allah Ta'ala want to see whether you are actually really have patience for whatever happened. In Surah Al-Furqan, verse number 20. وَجَعَلْنَا بَعْضَكُمْ لِبَعْضٍ فِتْنَةً أَتَصْبِرُونَ. We make some of you for some as a test. أَتَصْبِرُونَ. Do you have patience? Will you be patient for whatever happened? Then Allah Ta'ala giving you the test for you to get back to Him. Like we said, when Allah Ta'ala loves somebody, He will test His servant. He will test so that the servant will always utter His name on his lip. Normally people that have everything easy in his life will not utter the name of Allah, not asking the help from Allah, will always just stay feeling relaxed, not the relax that we want to, we really learn for the sake of to become happy, but they don't care. They doesn't think that something will happen to them, and they will not be patient whenever something happen to them. We want the patient. We know that we cannot run away from our trials in his life. We must face it, whether you like it or not. So because of that, he said, do not grieve upon the hurt that inflicted upon you. We met some people. They say that I can forgive, but I will not forget. Because actually your life is passing away. You know, you just want to stay at one situation all the way, you can. Or you can forget it and move on. What should you do to move on? Because we know that some of our sister or brother, some death upon their loved one, they cannot move on from that situation, always crying, always thinking about the spouse that leaving them. Actually, like you said, the love is there, but you must move on. Because like we said, because Allah Ta'ala is testing you with everything, giving you something, taking away from you something. You cannot dictate that you want to have everything in your sight all the way. That Allah Ta'ala will take it away from you, whether you like it or not. Because the living in this world, the life in this world is not for everlasting. It's just temporary. The everlasting is the last day, the akhirah. That is your target. Your target must be the akhirah. Because here, people will hurt you, say something bad to you. But if you really think about it, that Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala will judge them upon that. You cannot judge them. You can forgive them. You can say that I want to meet them in the last day. You can have that. Allah Ta'ala will not let it go away. You can forget it, but Allah Ta'ala will make sure that the person who hurting you, or oppressing you in this world will meet you in the last day. So you will not lose anything. You will not lose anything. And about the encouragement to forgive others, it's actually for you to think about, may Allah Ta'ala forgive you if you forgive others. You get the reward. Because Allah Ta'ala will reward you the same way you treated others. You help others, Allah Ta'ala help you. You forgive them, Allah Ta'ala forgive you. So your forgiveness is so little compared to the forgiveness of Allah that is benefiting you in the last day. So if you're feeling that, like that, you can be happy. You will not feel despair. Sometimes people be despair seeing people that they hate. looking at their houses, their car, or even their slippers, he become angry because he doesn't forgive that person. If he can move on, he can be happy. You're not focusing yourself to something that is bad, because like we did look into it in this book before, that the world is full of glory and happiness. The sun, the flower, the animals that is there in this world can actually distract you from going into your sorrow and your sadness. But divert yourself. Don't stay on that thing continuously. And because of that, even when you giving condolence to people who lost their family members or their friend, you should only give the condolence for 3 days only. 3 days only. After 3 days, you should not renew the sadness for them. Because if you meet them every day, your mother, oh, your mother died, oh, I'm very sorry. And tomorrow you meet him, you say the same thing. The person cannot move on because you are actually renewing the grief. Only women who died, her husband, must stay like that, remembering that she just lost her husband for 4 months, 10 days. Other than the woman, a father, a mother, a sister, a brother, a friend, cannot grieve for somebody who he or she lost more than 3 days. More than 3 days. Because after the 3 days, then you should move on. You should move on. You arranging everything about the payment or anything about the wealth, the inheritance from the deceased. But you cannot stay on grieving or crying all the way. It's not from the teaching of Islam. Because you know that whatever happened to you, being predestined by Allah. Allah test you whether you are you are patient with that test. You are asking from Allah the solution or not. Allah testing you. Where will you go? Because some people actually, when being tested by Allah, they will go to the shaman, and also asking from something that is not supposed to be asked. Dead people inside the grave, they ask, oh, Sheikh, help me, I'm in trouble. So all of it is actually for the test that Allah Ta'ala want to test you. So you have to, like being said here, don't be grieved upon the hurt inflicted for you by others, and forgive those who have irritated you. Because like we said, because you want to move on. You are not stationed in one place. In your life, you don't want to be stationed in one place. Just a similar place like that, you will become bored. You become bored. Whatever you have, a big house, an expensive car, after a while, you become bored. Like these days when our youngsters bought a new phone, iPhone or anything that is actually so expensive, 5,000, 7,000. But after a few months of buying that thing, holding that, keeping it sleep with you, holding every day. But after a few months, you give 3 months, 6 months, suddenly the feeling of boring with that thing will come, and you start to look for another thing. That is the nature of this world. Allah Ta'ala not making you to feel that you stop at one station. You have a friend here. You are actually in original state. You are actually a child, a small child in your life, being nurtured by your parent. But after that, you want to go to school. After you go to school, you want this and that. You don't want to be at the same place always, all the time. You want to change it. And then changing is actually the same concept. You must understand. Whenever sadness or grief or depression happen to you, run away from that thing. Don't keep on looking into that, because the world is so full of happiness, as really glory and everything is there is to make you happy. But sometimes people cannot move on. That is the problem here. The price of jealousy and rancor is enormous. when you have the jealousy towards people. You see that other people have something you don't have. The price of the feeling, the jealousy. If you understand that they've been given by Allah and you not being given by Allah, means Allah Ta'ala, most just, the most fair in everything that He did. Whatever Allah Ta'ala do, He is most wise. Most wise. Never ever Allah Ta'ala oppress anybody. So if you really think about that, if you don't get it, Allah Ta'ala is not giving you. You praise Allah. The person get whatever he get. You can ask Allah, oh Allah, if you give somebody something like that, please give me also. It's like what being done by Zachariah. Zachariah, when he saw the food that being given to Maryam. Maryam is actually a child. Even his niece, his wife niece, because Maryam mother and his wife is actually sisters. So Maryam being given to be taken care by him. So Maryam was so small, a little girl, suddenly getting food that is actually not on its season. So he know that this food cannot be from anybody except from Allah. So he asked Maryam, Anna laki hada, from where did you get this food? Then Maryam said, Hiya min indillah, it is from Allah. Allah Ta'ala give him provision forever, but He will. He want to give, He give. So when Zachariah, as an old man at that time, been worshipping Allah, but never getting something like that. Some people say that a jealousy should come to yourself. Seeing that somebody getting, you actually more giving commitment to worship Allah than him or than her. But suddenly she get something you didn't get. So Zachariah, he doesn't make that feeling like always people will always jealousy, will thinking why she get, it's not me. But Zachariah, that being said in Surah Al-Imran, verse number 38, when he saw whatever he saw that Maryam get, he quickly asked from Allah. He said, Hunalika da'a Zakaria Rabbah. There and then, Zachariah pray to his Lord, Allah. Qala Rabbi habli min ladunka dhurriyatan tayyibah. Oh Allah, oh my God, bestow upon me from you dhurriyatan tayyibah, and offspring, good offspring. He asked offspring, even though at that time he's already old, and his wife also already old and also menopause. Stop from having a menstrual cycle. Menstrual cycle for a woman, meaning that she still have an egg produced every month that can make her become pregnant. But his wife already old. And also upon that, known that his wife is sterile, cannot bear any children. But he asked Allah because he saw that Maryam can get something miraculously from Allah. The food is miracle from Allah. That Maryam get food that is actually not from the season. Yeah, we know in our time right now, we can get food that is not in our season by actually the way they preserve it. Making a big refrigerator that the big company has. They keep the fruit and everything there, so they can get it out at any season. But in the time of Zachariah, there's no big refrigerator, no big safe compartment to keep fruit from being distributed outside of its season. Everything you want to eat, you eat there and then. You don't eat it there, you cannot get it a few months after that. But when Zachariah saw that whatever Maryam get, he said that is not from normal people. Because the place where Maryam sit is actually on the mihrab, is so high that somebody must go there and climb ladders to send anything to her. And he actually seeing everything. He know that nobody can get to her. Suddenly she have that, provision from Allah. Then when he saw that, he know that it is from Allah, then he start to pray. Means that whenever you see somebody get something from Allah, you should not say that, oh, Allah Ta'ala give that person, will not give me. No, you have to have the understanding that if Allah can give that person, He also the most rich, the most loving, the most mercy, can give it to you also. So that is the way. Whenever you see somebody get something, oh Allah, give me also. You want something, you ask from Allah. Oh Allah, I want that also, because Allah is most high and most the treasure of Allah, the provision of Allah will never ever deplete. Nobody can take anything from Allah and making him cannot give anymore. He give everything, and what is with him is more than enough, and more million times better and enough for everybody. Because in the hadith by Muslim, the Prophet ﷺ said that Allah Ta'ala said, Ya ibadi, O my servant, law anna awalakum wa akhirakum, if the first creature among you, and it is the last creature among you, wa insakum wa jinakum, the human of you, the jinn of you, fi sa'idin wahid, is on the same stage. Everybody is on the same stage. And everybody asking from me whatever he want. Everybody. And I give all of them whatever they ask. Allah said, will not ever lose from my treasure, my wealth, except whatever being getting out by a needle, when a needle being deep into the sea and taking out. How much from the sea or the ocean is like being taken out by the needle? How much? It is something there. Whenever you put the needle and you take it out, how much comparing what on the needle and whatever left on the ocean? Whatever been given for all the creature, jinn and human, if Allah Ta'ala give everybody whatever they want, and nobody didn't get anything, everybody get whatever they ask. But Allah Ta'ala said, whatever been given, comparing what is left with Allah, is whatever being taken out by the needle. You dip a needle, take it away, how much is it being reduced from the ocean? And that is actually everything that being given. So vast. Whatever Allah Ta'ala have is so vast. So that's when you see somebody getting something, don't feel jealous. The feeling is there, will be there. But don't channel it so to be despair. Oh, that is for them, not for me. Oh, Allah will giving me anything to me. No, don't have that feeling. You must not feel despair from the mercy of Allah. If Allah Ta'ala can give that person, He can give you the same or better than that. Don't ever feel despair. Because the jealousy and rancor price is enormous. It is the price that have the revengeful person pays in exchange for the malice towards others. The hate or hasad, the Prophet said, is like a fire eating slowly the wood. You have wood, the eating slowly. That is the thing that will reduce your good deeds in the sense of Allah if you have that jealousy. It is because from the start, the jealousy that you have, you channel it to be hatred and to feel despair from the giving from the mercy of Allah, and to hate somebody because you don't like the person because he get everything. No, you don't have to be like that. He pays with his heart, flesh and blood, his peace, his relaxation, his happiness. This he forsake because he desires the sweetness of revenge and because he resent others. Resent others. Because they are actually, whatever they get is from Allah. Whatever you don't get is also by Allah. So don't ever feel resent or despair or have a dislike towards others, because whatever Allah Ta'ala bestow upon them, because that is their provision. You have your own provision. To feeling that feeling will inshallah making you be a happy person. Jealousy and rancor are illness from Allah, has given the cure and remedy. Jealousy and rancor is actually illness, the illness in the heart. The Allah Ta'ala already give the cure and remedy. Allah Ta'ala said in the Quran, in Surah Al-Imran, verse number 134. Allah Ta'ala said, وَالْكَاظِمِينَ الْغَيْظِ. Actually, the ayah from 133, Allah Ta'ala said, وَسَارِعُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ, and quickly come to the forgiveness of your Lord. And وَجَنَّةٍ, and also come quickly to the paradise. أَرْضُهَا كَأَرْضِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ, that the vastness, the wide, the space of the paradise that being given to each person, كَأَرْضِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ, as whatever the vastness or the space of as-samawat al-ard, the sky and the heaven and the earth. Then all of it being prepared, mu'iddat lil muttaqin, being prepared for those who have piety. The pious people only can get the paradise. Who is the pious people? Allah said, alladhina yunfikuna fis sarra'i wad dharra, those people who can give away charity, whether when they are actually in happiness or in lackness. Means that if you have money, they give. They have little also, they will give. That the first attributes. Secondly, related to our topic, وَالْكَاظِمِينَ الْغَيْظِ, those who actually repress anger. وَالْعَافِينَ عَنِ النَّاسِ, and also forgive other people. Forgiving other people. When we say about the people who have piety, who will get the paradise that is so vast, so big as the heaven and the earth, they will get that if they have the attributes of the pious people. So the pious people being said first on giving away their wealth. They can give away whether when they are wealthy or when they are poor. If they have difficulty, they also can give. By their standard, they will give away. They don't think, because they know that whatever they give away for the sake of Allah, they will meet it again in the last day. Something that you put in your pocket or in your bank, you may not meet it again. But whatever you give as a donation, as a charity, you will meet that thing in the last day. In front of Allah, all the thing will be giving back to you. It's like investment. You invest in everything in this world, the thing will go away. You die and nobody can get it. Everybody will start to taking shares from your inheritance. You cannot get benefit from that thing unless you put it somewhere for something good, to making a road or bridge or place for a shade for people to stay from the heat of the sun. Then you can get something there in the last day from Allah. If not, then the money is just like that. You just left it there, it's not benefiting you. But if you give it away as a charity, then Allah Ta'ala will give you reward. So people who have belief that they will get it back, whatever they invest, give away because of Allah, they will get it back. So they don't care about giving. So that the first attribute. The second one, وَالْكَاظِمِينَ الْغَيْظِ, those who repress or suppress their anger. So when we say about this, some of our sisters raised their hand and said, Ustaz, we learn from the psychiatrists or people, modern medicine. They said that if you suppress your anger, you have ulcer in your stomach because of the acid that come with the anger that you have. You don't leave it away, then something will eating you inside. So I said, Allah Ta'ala give the solution. The solution is وَالْعَافِينَ عَنِ النَّاسِ, those who forgive people. People doing bad to you, you forgive them. It is not easy, yes. But if you really think about the reward that you will get from Allah because you're doing that, you don't care about this. It's so little for you to stay there. Sometimes you get angry with something so small. Then the thing is actually, if you go away, you can get things better. Sometimes if you have something, like I said, if this pen, I lost this pen, this pencil, I lost it. I lose it somewhere, I don't know. But I thinking about it. Where did I lose it? I don't know where I lose it. I thinking about it day and night, during my sleep and everything. This thing, does it have anything to substitute it? Can it be replaced? Can it be replaced or not? Yes. You can have a replace. You can get another one. Maybe it's not the same. It can be better. It can be better than this one. It can get replaced. So you don't think about it all the way. The same as if you stick yourself to become angry at a person. Somebody, cutting queue when you are actually at the toll booth. You actually being lined up there for more than 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Suddenly another car came and get in between you and the front. You can have that feeling. But actually, if you did think about it, your turn will come also, even though you don't like the person, because cutting queue, they're not following the rule. But if you really think about him, you cannot move on. You'll think about that person. Why didn't I go out and shout at him, horn at him? What do you get? The satisfaction, satisfied your just anger. Your anger, you satisfied it. But at the same time, everybody is actually moving. He will go somewhere and then not thinking about you. You thinking about him all the way, or her, all the way until the night. You tell your wife, somebody cut my queue at the toll booth, and tomorrow you thinking about it. What will happen to you? You have to move on, because your life is not about that situation only. That is part of your life. If you can move on, move on. Move on. It's better. Because like I said, nothing is irreplaceable. Nothing indispensable. Everything can be replaced. Can have replaced. And the replace can be better. If you don't think about it, you can move on with your life and go to eat and drink and everything. But you stuck yourself thinking about that person. It's really nothing that give goodness to you. It will eat up your heart inside. That's why Allah Ta'ala said, if you have that hate or the anger, then forgive. Because what do you think? You think about, if I forgive them, those people, then Allah Ta'ala will forgive me. Think about the reward. Will make you feel better. Because Allah Ta'ala is the most just. If anybody being unfair to you in this world, Allah Ta'ala will surely get it back for you. You don't have to worry. And even the payment from Allah, the correction from Allah for that person in the last day is actually more hurtful than whatever you can do in this world. You can shout at the person, you can scream at the person, say that he's stupid and everything. You can say, but not the same as if Allah Ta'ala is the one that taking care about that. The hadith about muflis, people who are actually bankrupt in the last day. The Prophet asked the companion, who is the bankrupt people? So the companion said, the people who doesn't have any belonging, any silver money, those who are muflis. Then the Prophet said, the bankrupt person from among my people, my followers, are those who came in the last day with the hajj, the sadaqah, the prayer, everything with him, all the good deeds. But the problem is, he did say something bad about and as a person, hit this person, eat this person belonging without his consent. You know, everything that he did to everybody, even the saying, the doing, the taking of the operation that we do, Allah Ta'ala will repay it for you in the last day. Then the Prophet said that Allah Ta'ala will take whatever he have from the goodness that he did to become payment for those people that he oppressed in this world. Now, until whenever the good deeds is actually not there anymore, you don't have anything to give, then Allah Ta'ala will take the sin from those people and throw it to the person, and after that we throw him inside the hellfire. You know, that is actually more fearing, something that will make you become fear towards Allah, towards whatever you do to anybody. Because this in this world, people scream at you, talking bad at you. Something actually just like that. You know, the last day, the repayment from Allah is not comparable to whatever happened in this world. You hit a person, you kick him, you throw a rock at him. But the last day, the repayment is so big. So because of that, you better let it go than clinging to it. Because if Allah Ta'ala making you to feel like that, you know, about other person, then another person will feel bad about you also. You cannot say that I didn't do bad to others. Backbiting will be count. Eating others, the money or the belonging of others because they consent, spilling their blood, hitting them with anything, will be punished by Allah in the last day. They will get their reward from whatever you did in this world. So thinking about that, if you can claim upon others, others also can claim upon you. Just think. So you staying at that point to become mad and angry is not really benefiting you. Just let go. Move on. It's better. Okay. Allah said also in Surah Al-A'raf. Al-A'raf, verse number 199. 199 is about to repay those who do bad to you, repay them with goodness. Something that we said is so difficult. So difficult. Allah Ta'ala said in Surah Al-A'raf, verse number 199, Allah Ta'ala said, Khudil afwa wa'mur bil urfi wa'arid 'anil jahilin. Khudil afwa. He said here, show forgiveness. Wa'mur bil urfi, and enjoy what is good. Wa'arid 'anil jahilin, and turn away from the foolish. You know, people who actually foolish people, you don't argue with them. They will not understand. So if you just, try to prolong whatever you have with them, or you don't want to forgive them, that is wrong from you. Because Allah Ta'ala is telling you, khudil afwa. You can repay them badness with badness, but Allah Ta'ala offering you, go to show forgiveness. Don't show your hardness, show your forgiveness. Wa'mur bil urfi, and enjoy whatever is good. Whatever is good, encourage and tell people to do good, and don't go into discussion or debate with those who are the foolish. Don't you stay there. Allah Ta'ala also said, he said here in Surah Fussilat, Allah Ta'ala said, idfa billati ahsan, repel the evil, that one the one which with the one which is better. Mean people do bad to you, do good to them. It's actually so hard. You don't like that person, but Allah Ta'ala said, do good to them. Yeah, Allah Ta'ala said, Allah Ta'ala ordered the faithful believers to be patient at the time for anger, and to excuse those who treat them badly. Okay? Then verily, And actually, Allah Ta'ala said, idfa' bil ahsan. Fa idzal ladzi bainaka wa bainahu adawah. Then actually, verily, Allah Ta'ala said, between whom you and those who have treat them badly, you and a person that actually between you has enmity. You have animosity between him and you. You don't like him, he didn't like you, but you do good to them. Good to them. Then Allah Ta'ala said, then he between you of whom you and there was enmity. فَإِذَا الَّذِي بَيْنَكُمْ وَبَيْنَهُ عَدَاوَةٌ كَأَنَّهُ وَلِيٌّ حَمِيمٌ will become as though he was close friend for you. Allah Ta'ala said, this is the way. You do good, then even the most hated person towards you will surely become the most person will protect you. The most warm protector for you. But this thing is actually so hard. Allah Ta'ala said, وَمَا يَلَقَّاهَا إِلَّا الَّذِينَ صَبَرُوا, but will not do this thing except those who actually have patience. وَمَا يَلَقَّاهَا إِلَّا ذُو حَظٍّ عَظِيمٍ, and will not do this except those who have great or big reward from Allah in the last day. So if you want to get, you must train yourself to be like that. Even though it's hard, surely it's hard. Some people say that maybe this thing is actually just in the saying. I can share with you a person is known to us. You know, when you open Islam Q&A, there's a website, Islam Q&A. The original page is actually in Arabic, but they do sometimes have few articles, Q&A, being translated into English, Malay, or Indonesian, and any other languages. The person who involved in creating that Islam Q&A is Sheikh Saleh Munajjid. Saleh Al-Munajjid. Happened that his son was killed by a person, another man. And he actually forgiving that person and not to think about it. That say that I forgive you. Doesn't ask for the payment, 100 camel, a value of 100 camel. You know how much is it? Almost $500,000. A camel is around 4,000 to 5,000. A camel. So you times it to 100. You know, 500 or 400 or 500,000. But he actually forgive that person just like that. He said that I forgive. Even actually, and you see in one of the YouTube, a person happened in USA, immigrant or actually people that stay there. If not, I'm not mistaken, they are from the Thai or Vietnamese descendant. One of their his son was killed by a person. Inside the court, he said to that person, I forgive you. In front of everybody. Everybody start to cry. You know, because that is the thing. You can say that it's so difficult, but some people do manage to do that. Even if you talk about like Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, when he was being caned and being imprisoned by the caliphs, 3 caliphs, Ma'mun, Mu'tasim, Wathiq. Almost 10 years he was being imprisoned and being caned every day. But he just forgive like that. Malik bin Anas also the same. When he was being asked by the caliph to repay, to redo whatever being done to him because his hand was being dislocated from his shoulder. Even he have to pray like that, cannot lift his hand. So when the caliphs know about that, telling him to redo the thing to the person, he said no, because Allah Ta'ala is testing me. Then he forgive the person. Something that actually in our life, you can see many people manage to do it. But you have to teach yourself, to train yourself to become more forgiving. And because thinking about the last day, thinking about maybe something that I do, Allah Ta'ala testing me with it. Be a person that is actually forgiving. Because Allah Ta'ala will forgive you. Whatever you do to others, Allah Ta'ala will repay it to you the same way. Surah Al-Fusilat verse number 34. Okay. Okay, do not grieve over that which has passed you by in life. For indeed, you have been blessed with much. No, you do not grieve with whatever being passed in your life. Happened there and then. You lost your watch. You lost this and everything. Because whatever left with you is much more. The blessing is what with you is much more. Sometimes you become sad because you lose your precious watch. You know, you have your watch. It's so precious. You bought it for 7 years. You wear it. Suddenly you left it inside the bathroom and people took it. You don't know who. Nobody want to return it to you. You have that feeling inside your heart. But the problem is you must know that you must move on. You must move on. Don't because actually the thing you love it so much. But if you really think about it, whatever being left with you is more precious than the watch that you lose. Your hand. If been given to you option, losing your watch or losing your finger, one finger. Watch comparing with finger. Or your eyesight with that watch. Or your hearing with that comparing with that watch. Or your quick movement or your health. You whatever being left with you is more valuable than whatever you lose. If you think about that, you can be assured, Alhamdulillah, Allah Ta'ala love me. He didn't take away my hand, just take away my watch. It's okay. I can replace it by a new model, new one. But thinking about that thing always, no, that is not the way. That is so wrong. Okay? Because whatever we have is so blessed with much. Contemplate the many favors and gift that Allah has bestowed upon you, and be thankful to Him for them. Just contemplate, think about whatever Allah still make it intact with you. Everything is there. You know, wake up, you can walk. You can see when you see people that cannot walk, have to crawl, their leg is not functioning anymore, or they are on the wheelchair. You look at that, whatever happened to them, Allah Ta'ala save you from that thing and giving you so much. But you still thinking about your pen, your watch, your everything. Even though what Allah Ta'ala ever left you is better, more than that. That is the thing. Think about it and be thankful with Allah for them. Remind yourself of Allah many blessings. For He, the Almighty, said in Surah 16, Surah An-Nahl, verse number 18. Wa in ta'uddu ni'matallahi la tuhsuha. And if you would count the graces of Allah, never could you be able to count them. If you want to count from whatever on your body, your surrounding, people with you, your friend, your family, if you count what the blessing of Allah still make it intact with you, you actually cannot count them. If you want to say to thank Allah for everything, your tongue cannot stop from saying Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah from everything. From the air, the sun, the electricity, the aircon, everything is here. You know, people actually this day they talking about heat stroke. You know, people heat stroke. Actually, even some children died because of that. And when you look at them in the village, they don't have the air condition. You staying here in the city, and the condition is there in our hall, main hall, in your office upstairs. Everything is there. You know, you really thinking about that, you are so blessed. People actually that sometimes Allah make difficulties for them to get a good water, supply of water. You are getting that. You just open, everything is there for you. The electricity, if you count the internet and everything, you are so blessed. Everything Allah Ta'ala giving you. Even if Allah Ta'ala take away from you one thing, the thing that's still intact with you is so much. From you grieving about one thing, you should think about whatever still left. Because this thing is more precious than whatever you lose. You lose one thing, but the thing with you is actually still there. More and much from whatever being taken from you. That Allah Ta'ala has completed and perfected His grace upon you. Actually both apparent. Zahiratan wa batinah. Wa asbagha alaikum ni'amahu zahiratan wa batinah. Don't you see that Allah Ta'ala has made subject to you whatever is in the heaven and wherever in the earth, and apply bestow upon you His favor. That is apparent and apparent. The kata the apparent here, example, Islam is apparent, monasticism, and the lawful pleasures of this world, including health, good look, and everything. And hidden, the one faith of in Allah, the one faith in Allah, and the monotheism, knowledge about the faith about Allah, and wisdom, guidance for doing righteous deeds. You see two things. You want to do this or that. When Allah Ta'ala make you choose the right thing, that is from among the blessing bestowed upon you, but actually hidden. You don't really think about it, but it's so big for you. And also the pleasure of delight in the hereafter in paradise. And batina, in the last day, you will see that, there and then. Allah Ta'ala said in Surah An-Nahl, Surah An-Nahl, verse number 53. Verse number 53. Allah Ta'ala said, وَمَا بِكُم مِّن نِعْمَةٍ فَمِنَ اللَّهِ. And whatever of blessing with you, that the good things you have, it is from Allah. It is from Allah. ثُمَّ إِذَا مَسَّكُمُ الضُّرُّ فَإِلَيْهِ تَجْأَرُونَ. And then when harm touch you, unto Him you cry aloud for help. Whatever you get is from Him. And whenever you being touched by harm, sickness and everything, your mouth will say, "Oh Allah, oh Allah." Okay, Surah An-Nahl, verse number 53. And Allah said, establishing His favor upon man. Allah said in Surah 90. In Surah Al-Balad, verse number 8 to 10. Allah said, Alam naj'al lahu aynain. Don't we make for him two eyes. Walisanan, and also one tongue. Washafatain, and also two pair of lips. Wahadainahu najdain, and also we show him the two ways. Means that najdain, the goodness and the badness. So they actually just to choose what it's really better for them. So he said here, life, health, and the faculties of hearing and seeing, two hands, two legs, water, air, food. These are some of the more visible blessing in this world. While the greatest of all blessing is that of Islam and correct guidance. That is bigger. If you get all the things in this world, but you don't get the guidance from Allah to the right path, that is so losing for you. It's nothing to benefiting you, not profiting. Okay. What would you say to someone who offered you large sum of money in return for your eyes? No, I give you 1 million, but one eyes. I want your eyes to give to my daughter. One eyes, 1 million. What do you say to that person? Or your ears, or your legs, or your hand, or your heart? How great is your health in reality? Your health is really the biggest one. What is the biggest one? Is your health. By not being thankful, you do not render justice to Allah, countless favor. If you're not returning to Allah all the thank or the gratitude, then you are not really giving back or render justice. You are not being just to Allah. Countless favor. All the favor is there, but you don't really think about it. Alhamdulillah. Okay, stop here, insyaAllah. Okay, we will continue insyaAllah for the next class. Is there any question there? No, Alhamdulillah. So we stop here. InsyaAllah we'll continue. The grief not over unworthy things. It's actually related to this topic, but I have more than one page. So we stop here. InsyaAllah we'll continue. Wallahu a'lam. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa sallam alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.